Welcome back to the TechMoto channel, and this series, on developing a virtual assistant. In this episode, we will make our Jarvis more realistic, by adding multiple possible inputs, and multiple, random outputs. To do this we are going to use a spreadsheet, to contain all our data. This will make updating our Jarvis much easier. The first thing to do is open Microsoft Excel. Make a new file. Save this file as inputs. Next we need to create two pages in this spreadsheet. The first is named user. Take note of the capital U. The second sheet is called replies. Take note of the capital R. In the first sheet, we put our possible user commands. The second sheet is Jarvis and his replies. Let's put two possible commands and respective replies in. On the first sheet, on the first row let's enter 4 possible commands for saying hello. Let's now put in the replies sheet, first row, 4 possible replies. Let's now add a second row, for the command, how are you? So in the user sheet, 4 possible variations of, how are you? Then on the replies sheet, 4 possible replies. Please note, do not leave any gaps, or change any text formats in this file. You can add as many user inputs as you like, but on the replies sheet, you must have phrases in every row, where you have one entry in a column. So for example, this would not work. All cells must be filled. If you add one more to one row, you must then add another reply to every row. Okay, that's done. Let's save that file and then open up our Python code. You can access this sample program on the GitHub repository, shown in the comments. So, here we are, back in our IDE. I have added 2 more libraries to our program. One called OpenPyXL, and one called Random. You will need to install these libraries. For help on how to do this, see tutorial 4 in this series. I have also added a new function called Excel, and then added a line of code in our main program, that calls on this function, before entering into the speech recognition loop. Let's open up the Excel function, and see what is inside. The first few lines of code define some variables, for opening our workbook, and our 2 sheets. Note the capital U, on user, and the capital R, on replies. I have then created 2 clear areas below. One for user commands, and one for Jarvis replies. I start by creating global variables, for our 2 commands. This is because we will be calling on these from everywhere in our code. You will notice the second section is pretty much the same as the first, however the global variable has a reply added. Pay attention to the other slight changes with U, row, for user row and R, row, for the replies. Here you can see the rows in Excel being defined. So my commands for hello are in row 1, for example. So, now we have defined our Excel document, and added in our commands and replies. We just need to call upon them, instead of using the previous solution. Let's fold the Excel function, for now. Open up the recognize main function. You will see that I have grayed out the previous solution, and added a new line for our Excel functionality. You will see that instead of defining one command, we now say, if the variable data contains any words from our list, contained in hello list, then speak a random choice from the list, in reply, hello. We have done this a second time, for the second command, how are you? Now you can add any other commands, under your speak command, to operate lights and other things. You can now add as many rows in Excel as you like, as long as you update your code too, so the program knows where to look. The nice thing about this, is that you can constantly add variations of commands, and replies to Jarvis, without coding, just using Excel. You also add further sheets to break up your code, as long as you call them properly. That's it for this video. Now you can spend some time filling your Jarvis with every possible command, and a variety of replies. Even you will not know what he will say back. The more replies you have in Excel, the more random the response will be. I hope that was helpful. Please do like the video, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for notifications of future videos. Have a great day. See you soon.